We start the discussion by exploring what practices need to be put in place. So if we can start with you, Mally.
Well, Andy, the challenge is to make the link between results and practices. The necessary practices, the things we do to achieve the targeted results. It's necessary to understand the gaps. It's critical also to get the right balance between results and practice. Too much focus on results often leads organisations to rely on a key few individuals to run mini projects. This kind of hit squad approach will often give short-term gains but is rarely sustainable. The key is being able to choose the right tools for the job and to do a few things extremely well. For many organisations, these tools will have been tried before, so it's rarely about reinventing the wheel. Now, it's more often about putting the wheels back in motion, using an involved team and applying those tools with sufficient depth so that they actually work.
In our experience, sustainable change comes from using a step-based approach, doing the right things in the right order. Success comes from using the right practices to drive the right results. This does require a consistent approach. Firstly, by putting in place the operational basics and then controlling them. This enables processes to become predictable, capable and reliable, and people to operate at the right level of the organisation. Having established the appropriate tools and practices, it's important to lock them in so they become a standard way of working across the organisation. It is only then that they will become a platform to drive sustainable change.
The focus may vary depending on the maturity of the organisation, but over time there needs to be a balance between developing the tools and the associated behaviours. Pushing forward with improvement processes that really are driven on tools and techniques without paying attention to people and cultural issues will often lead to a robotic adoption of those tools, driven by top-down discipline rather than real ownership and commitment from the people into the new ways of working. Suiko believes that to embed exceptional practices is more about changing mindsets than the application of tools. Focusing a ratio of around 80% behaviour, 20% tools, encourages a mindset of self-discipline and ownership. These are key factors which ensure sustainability of a change programme.
Developing a roadmap and an assessment is a great way of involving people from across the business in building their own operating system. This enables the teams to share best practice, calibrate their understanding and develop a common language. In most cases, developing the tools themselves is relatively easy. The really tough bit involves getting people to change their behaviours, and that should be where the majority of the effort goes.
It must start with asking why, to really understand the compelling reasons why we would do something different regarding driving results and improving practices. There are always opportunities to improve further, but we must also recognise there are things that are working well in the business, and we must build on these and use these to take us further. We would encourage people and drive people to think beyond just the tools and understand that there are practices in place as well that we can use and harness to act as enablers to generate better and improved behaviour.
To summarise, the team have highlighted key things that must be considered. Firstly, the right practices will be dependent on the maturity of the organisation. Secondly, the right balance must focus on introducing tools and the associated behaviours that will enhance your ability to optimise results. Finally, the right fit should ensure that you enhance existing good practices, engage everybody to close the current gap.